Welcome back to Living with a Classic and episode 2 of my new weekly series called Daily Driving a Classic Weekly. Previous week you got the first episode, which was driving in a blizzard or snowstorm. It wasn't supposed to be the first episode of this series. I was more planning of an episode like this one where I talk a little bit about the series and sort of see what I think I'm going to do with it, and also ask you guys what you want to see out of the series. But we got the freak snowstorms, so I thought it'd be fun to show that, and you guys seem to really enjoy that video. So basically the idea with this show is I'm daily driving this classic car, a 1975 XJ6. I'm also sometimes driving some of the other cars on the channel, but right now it's the only one on the road here in the winter, and I want to document sort of how that goes every single week. Most of my videos are, showing me working on something, or restoring, or building. It's a lot of, how you do this, or how I like to do it, or just, showing the progress. I like to have a series where we just sort of follow an event every single week, and more of a vlog style. Also where I can connect to you guys more. I want a lot of input and feedback from you guys, what you want to see, because really I want to make this a show for you guys that you guys are excited about seeing every single week. My plan now is that it will be released every single Saturday. Last week I released it on a Thursday, but this week it will be released here on a Saturday. So basically it will be a simpler format as well on these videos. They will mostly be shot on my phone or with a smaller camera that I can have with me at all time. So it won't be shot with the big camera and lights and such things. It will be just, smaller, simpler videos, but I think they'll be very enjoyable. And I want to have the input from you guys in them. Like I said, I want you guys to let me know what you want to see. I want this to be sort of a discussion. We can discuss pretty much anything. Preferably it should have to do with, classic car ownership or the cars, or, something like that. It should, it should revolve around that. But I'm open to what you guys want to talk about, and the length will also vary. Most of my videos that I post, the Monday and Thursday videos, they're usually between 15-25 minutes long, because that's usually how long it takes to do or to cut together hours of footage on the jobs I do. But these will vary a lot in length depending on what happened during the week. I mean, it could be a 5-minute video, and it could be lots of stuff happening with the car that week, and it could be a 25-minute video. I don't know. So this week I do have some footage of some things that happened. So I won't have this long introduction every single time, but I really just wanted to introduce the show properly. And from the response from episode 1, you guys seem really excited about it. So as you can see behind me, there's not that much snow left. It's pretty much melted. It's been raining for 3 days, so most of it's gone, but we had a lot of it. So even though it's been above freezing for a while, it's taken a long time for it to melt away, and it's just awful and mushy outside everywhere. However, the beginning of this week was the coldest morning we've had so far this year. It was -10 Celsius, and I'll put that down here what it was in Fahrenheit, in the morning when I was going out to drive off, take my daughter to daycare in the morning. And I filmed that because I didn't know how the car was going to react. It was the coldest I've ever started this thing. And turned out the starting wasn't the issue, but there were a few other issues because of the cold. So let's have a look at that footage now. It's about 6:45 here in the morning. You see the sun it's not showing up yet, but the sky's starting to get light over there. And it's the coldest morning yet. It's -10 outside, -10 degrees Celsius. So I'll put that in Fahrenheit here, but that's really, really cold. So we're gonna see if this thing actually gets going. I'm about to leave my house, so I really hope it does. 1975 XJ6 on SU carbs with an automatic choke device called AED. So hopefully it fires up. Let's see. Okay, fuel pump is ticking. No way. See if we can get the ignition light to turn off. There we go. Alright, idle's a little bit lower than it usually is, but let's see if we can see what we got. Good oil pressure, charging is starting to come up, and all of that. So I need to scrape all the windows and get ready for now, but this is just a short update, seeing that, yeah, it's -10 outside, sitting outside all night. this thing actually fired into life. It started to warm up a bit now. Still have a front window to scrape the ice off. It's really stuck on there quite hard, so I put the defrost on to help it out a little bit. But then I am ready to get out of here on this really, really cold January morning. As you can see, it's already a bit more light out, but I haven't left the house. I have an issue. Car runs, no problem at all. However, the doors, they open, but they don't close all the way. So the buttons are basically stuck in the open position, so the latch doesn't latch. That's the same for one of the back doors as well. I needed to open to get my daughter in the car. And yeah, I've tried the normal, lighter trick and everything's not working. So I'm getting an extension cord out and probably a heater for the inside of the car, because I'm guessing it's probably not in here. The issue is probably with the rods in here somewhere. I did drive yesterday through where it was, above freezing, so probably everything's thawed. And then it got really cold last night. So I'm gonna try that. Also try a hairdryer, see if we can actually get all of this to free up. So I'm actually with a hairdryer later, and it clicks now, and it almost shuts as it should. There we go. So it's still a little bit stiff in there, but it clicks now. I just got one more door left to go, and then I can actually see if I can even get out of here. And then when I get back, I'm going to have a look and see if this is just a temporary thing, because it's extremely cold and it was, not cold yesterday and I got some ice, or if there's another issue. I think it's just moisture and ice that got into everything. But maybe it's time to take it apart and lubricate it again, even though it did it in the summer. Maybe it's time to just try that one more time. Put even more grease in there and see if it actually works better. Here we go again. All right, let's try it. And there we go. That opens and shuts now. So I can finally leave my house. So that's really everything that's happened this week. It's been a pretty slow week with the car. I've just been driving it normally and everything's been going well. So, some weeks will be like that, and some weeks I fix a lot of things. There are a few things I do want to address. A bulb or two out, an instrument cluster I got to fix, which is a little bit annoying. And a few other things. I do have a weird leak as well coming into the car, which we will address in a future video. I will also do that in a future video. Like you saw, the door locks, I haven't had the issue later with the door locks after I dried them out. It was just sort of a freak circumstance, I think, where day before it was 2 or 3 degrees below or above freezing, and I think I just got a little moisture in the doors, and then it got cold like that super quick, and then all the mechanism just became really, really difficult to get back. So basically what happened was that the door pushes, they were loose, but the mechanism behind them, so when I pushed it in to open, that worked, but they didn't pop back. The little push buttons did, but not everything else behind it, so that's why it was very difficult to close the doors. Not always easy to troubleshoot when it's 6:45 a.m. and you just really need to leave your house. But got it sorted. We're just about half an hour late or so that wasn't really too bad, and I haven't had the issues since then. So let's talk a little bit more about what we talked about here in the intro. What ideas are for the show. I mean, there will be a video every week in this sort of format. That's all I really know so far, but I really want some input for you guys. What are you interested in seeing? Do you want it to be more of vlog style like this, which is sort of my idea, at least with these videos, since the other videos are not that much. They're more shot with different angles, and so I just want to have a more relaxed video series, and I think one where I can interact with you guys more. I want to know what you guys are up to. I also want to know what are you doing with your cars? What are you up to? I want to know that as well. So let's have some great conversations down in the comments. I think that would be a lot of fun. Great way to, of course, want to get to know you guys who are watching these videos. Also, I thought about one thing for a long time. Not really sure. I'm a person who usually names my cars. I've always done it since the first car I had was Alfa Romeo Spider, and it was called Annie, just because, with an A, I don't know why. And it's always been like that. However, this car I've never given it a name. It sort of came with a name. The previous owner called it the Green Goddess, but I don't know. I want to have, you know, probably more of a name. Like my old Volvo that I have was called Frank, because when I bought it, I picked it up from quite a sketchy car dealership, and when I went in to pick it up after I decided to buy it, they were just going to go through it a little bit, fix some things. I picked it up a couple days later. When I went to pick up, like, "Are you the guy after for the Volvo?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Great car, man. They're built like tanks." So I call it Frank the Tank. But I'm really open to suggestions. I also want to know, do you guys name your cars or not? I think it's sort of a fun thing to do. You spend a lot of time with them. You, especially with an old classic, I feel like they have personalities. You know, this one definitely has personality. It, you know, it runs great, but it has, you know, days where it's happier and days where it's, you know, not as happy. But usually it's pretty happy days. But let me know if you have a suggestion for a good name for this car, and maybe if I'll pick your name, we'll make some type of competition of it, or I'll pick a couple names and then we'll vote on them later. Something fun like that. So let me know if you have any name ideas down in the comments below. Anyways, this was a very different, more of a rambling video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a great weekend if you're watching this right when it comes out. And in the next video, I'm not actually sure what's going to be on the channel next week. We'll see what happens, what I do this weekend. And the next episode of Daily Driving a Classic Weekly, I have no idea what's going to happen next week, so you're going to have to tune in next week to find out. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. And if you don't want to miss any future updates, make sure that you hit the bell notification when you subscribe, and then you'll get a notification every single time I post a new video. Anyways, until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.